Are you ready for Black Friday and Cyber Monday? We interviewed over 15 sellers to get their top strategies for getting the most sales possible during Cyber Week and Q4. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And today, we have tons and tons of quick-hitting strategies. We actually did a live 7-hour broadcast of top sellers from around the world who have had anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 Black Fridays under their belt. Ask them, what were some cool things that happened, some bad things that happened, and also what were some of the top strategies. So what we did is we picked some of the best strategies here to compile for you so that you guys can maybe take some notes and get something that you can implement this year so that you can crush Cyber Week. So let's go ahead and get into the clips of these top strategies.
A very quick one will be just change up the images, make it more festive. Especially during this holiday season, I classify most products into two different categories: giftable and non-giftables, right? So especially if you're selling in the very giftables categories, think of tumblers, like gifts for moms, dads, etc., right? Maybe it's good to add a little ribbon, right, in your main image. So just to show people on the main image especially that this is a gift. And when we do that, it does signify a lot of shopping behavior for people to buy for their friends or families. So that's a very simple tip. Add a ribbon in your main image and it will get some festive shopping going.
So, you can put a lot of thought into making a ridiculously high quality video to maximize your conversion rate. And then once you've got that down pat, you can test out an enormous amount of video in sponsored brand video ads and really refine what video works well. You can target your categories, you can target all your different keywords, you can target all your competitors, and then if you want to go further, you can make video ads for each keyword. And depending on what people search for, that's the video you make. And you can even make videos targeting your competitors. Like I'm doing a hot sauce in Japan, which we're about to launch in America. Within 3 weeks, we will rank the number 2 hot sauce in Amazon with video strategies. And our number 1 target is Tabasco. So we just drown Tabasco in video.
I have a calendar business and a collectibles business. We baseball cards and calendars and that kind of stuff. And we used to do a whole series of promotions, a 5-day Black Friday event. This is before Amazon was doing anything or any of this other stuff existed. And I would do on the Wednesday before, I would do like a warm up, like a little promotion. I'd sit like 5 different promotions from Wednesday to Monday. And every day there was a different promotion. So maybe Wednesday was the really light promotions, 10% off or something like that. Because a lot of people are traveling that day. You don't get a lot of activity, but just kind of the warm up. And then Thursday would be like, all right, it'd be like the turkey discount. I give them special names like, I forget the exact names. It would be some sort of like the turkey gobbler discount. Gobble up, 5 calendars for the price of 2 or something like that. And then I would do something on Friday, which would be the actual Black Friday. And that would be one of the better deals. And then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday. So I guess that's actually 6 days. So it would be a 6-day event, and every day a different offer, and they would expire at midnight that day. So there would be, I would email my list, and back then I was actually direct mailing as well, the list beforehand. So I'd send out something on like the Friday before, because when you could do bulk mail, you could put it in first class, and on Friday, drop it at the post office. So I was dropping off 50,000 postcards. They would get in people's mailboxes Monday and Tuesday, so they're just in time to hit them and go, oh yeah, I need to log on. That way, if they didn't see the email, or they could prepare for it and plan their schedule. And then I would always do a big promotion. I remember one time I did another promotion for a calendar deal. And I sent it out on that Friday. I think I said Friday, and people were getting it on Monday and Tuesday by first class mail. And by that next Friday, I remember going to the post office, which was Black Friday. And from that postcard I'd sent 1 week earlier, I opened the mailbox and there's $36,000 in there in checks and money orders. Just off a little postcard with people writing checks, putting checks in money orders and envelopes and sending it in. So yeah, it's a major thing but the thing I think that is important to remember is it's great to do stuff around holidays. And I do it around other holidays too. You can do it on Boss's Day or Secretary's Day or Grandfather's Day. You can do all these different holidays. You can always create an event, and in marketing, it's always, people are always looking for a justification to buy something when it's a holiday. So if you piggyback on that, not just Cyber Monday, but any other holidays, coming up in the fourth quarter, you got other holidays. There's probably some Jewish holidays in there. I don't know the exact dates. There's some other holidays. I know that December 8th is Candles Day in all of Latin America. And that's a big day for, the Virgin Mary and all that kind of stuff. And they all like candles. If you could do something around that, if you have products that are geared towards the Latin market, you can do a lot of other things besides just those. And remember, those days are great, but every day after Cyber Monday is another Cyber Monday during the fourth quarter. So don't just think you got to bunch everything up into those 5 days. But it's a great opportunity for sure, and to get that ball rolling.
For example, my strategy this year, it will be the same the last year, and I start bidding hard and making retargeting campaigns 2 weeks before Cyber.
Okay.
So that way I will showing my product several times to the same person before the day. I have no big deals on Cyber, 5-10% coupon, no more than that. And after
just Prime exclusive discount, or just a regular coupon, or just a discount, or what are you doing?
It's regular coupons. Okay. And after that, I again do add to my cart brand tailored promotion, the abandoned cards, and I also do retargeting. So if you didn't buy the product, I will show you again. So
the coupon that you had during Black Friday, it ends, and then now you turn on like a 10% also for the brand tailored promotions. So you're not allowing them to stack the two coupons, right?
No, I'm not allowing to stack. Yeah.
I think during the event itself, if you have the opportunity and you have maybe a SaaS rep, or maybe you don't, to have a manual deal, that's always going to be the preference, because you get more premium placement on the deals page. If you don't have that opportunity, then Prime exclusive discounts are definitely going to be the way to go. But to Bradley's point, that lead up and the lead out to the campaign is just as important. That way you're building your ranking leading into the main event period of T12, and then leading out of it, you're sustaining your rank better than maybe some of your competitors are doing. But I think, Bradley, from your original question, a lot of what's slept on is really some of the organic strategies using Helium-10 and how you're really putting yourself in the best position to convert from a keyword perspective, because you'll see a lot of seasonal changes that occur during this time. So if you aren't diving into tools like Market Tracker 360, Search Query Performance, Brand Analytics, in general, Product Opportunity Explorer, Cerebro Time Tracker, like these are all encompassing strategies that we're utilizing leading up to these campaigns to make sure that we are on page one for as many non-branded keywords as possible during the main event.
You want to know what keywords are driving the most sales for listings on Amazon? To do that, you need to know what highly searched for keywords the product is ranking for, maybe at the top of page one. You can actually find that out in seconds by using Helium-10's keyword research tool, Cerebro. Now, that's just one of the many, many functions that make this tool my favorite tool in the whole suite, and it's the most powerful keyword research tool ever created for e-commerce sellers. For more information, go to h10.me/Cerebro, h10.me/CEREBRO. Don't forget to use the Serious Sellers Podcast discount coupon, SSP10.
But with that being said, here's probably like the biggest unlock that we've had, Bradley. So we got eaten alive when Amazon started to introduce their long-term storage fee or their aged inventory surcharge, right? That came out in April of 2023, right? So we have a lot of seasonal products. And we would often say, oh, guess what? We had these Christmas party invitations. They didn't sell well this year. So what? Keep them in FBA, and then we'll sell them out the following year. Now, up until 2023, it was more profitable to keep them there in FBA rather than have them removed, go to a 3PL, ship them back in, right? And so what we did, so over the last kind of like 18 months, one of the things that we've really dug into is we have an internal accounting controller, and we have gotten into the nitty-gritty details of our accounting and finances. And my goodness, the amount of profit that we have been losing just going to aged inventory surcharges has been monstrous. And so this past Prime Day in July, we were able to clear out a ton of aged inventory. Same thing with this most recent big Prime Day deals, right, in October. And so leading up, so you asked the question, hero SKUs get, obviously a Prime exclusive discount. Then what do we do with, do we launch Prime exclusive discounts on all of our SKUs? Not necessarily. What we'll do is we'll kind of leave the middle tier as is, but then we'll take anything that has aged inventory or anything that's potentially going to incur aged inventory in the next 2 to 3 months. And we will light those up. And we have seen, we move a ton of inventory on those, and we're able to kind of dodge that or mitigate that AIS fee quite a bit. And so that has really reshaped our financials for this year.
For leading to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I highly recommend adding 5%, 10% coupon. And the reason for that is that before Black Friday, the customers, this happens for Prime Day as well, customers coming to look for the product, not necessarily they are purchasing, but they are browsing for the products, they are adding to carts. So biggest mistake that I see actually related to this is, apart from not adding coupon, the brands don't think about increasing their budget few days before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And actually everyone is talking that, you have to bring your budget down because the conversion rate or the unit session percentage is low. Interestingly, I was looking at the data today. So actually for Prime Day, Black Friday is the same. Before the event, few days before the event, absolutely right, unit session percentage goes down. But one thing that goes up is advertising conversion rate. Now, why this matters? Because unit session percentage reports for the day of the event, right? Because we know the sales are being reported whenever they are ordered. But in advertising, you're seeing the sales getting attributed to the day that the click was made, to the first click. That is why conversion rate slightly goes up before the event, because the customers who were searching for the product, they added to cart. During the event, they purchased. So the sales goes back to the days pre-event for those customers who were searching. So long story short, I would recommend adding coupon codes before the event, plus increasing the budget. We usually recommend up to 20% for 2 to 3 days before Black Friday. During the events, from my experience, the lightning deal has been the best. And you have this for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if I'm not wrong, we have the 7 days deal. So we're on the 7 days deal. And lead out what we do, plus we increase the budget, right, as needed. We recommend 100% increase in budget, but during the day, we are monitoring the account. If we need or if we are getting out of budget, we will keep increasing the budget. And after the lead out, again, everyone is talking about the conversion rate is low, but something that I have realized after a few tests, I need to do more tests on this. There are some people that miss out on these type of events. They don't purchase, they forgot. But these customers, they came back, and on Amazon, they are looking for the product. If you have a good deal, you could get those customers. So I would recommend after the event, even add your coupon codes. If you want to increase your sales, increase your conversion rate compared to the customers.
So my strategy is like this. I go to Product Opportunity Explorer, either check a few competitors by ASIN, or I search 1 or 2 main keywords, right? Until I find some relevant niches for my product or for competitors, and then I transpose it to my product, right? So from Product Opportunity Explorer, from every niche, when we go to search time, we get the top 20 to 25 keywords that Amazon sees extremely relevant for that niche. And in my opinion, as a seller and on the agency part, what we've seen to work in the last 2 years or so, is relevancy based. So those keywords, if you ask me, are the holy Bible of every seller. You need to rank on those keywords that Amazon shows for that niche. Now, some of them are easier. Like, for example, if we're talking products like yours, right, which are in very small niches. But if we're talking collagen peptides, like my example was today, or I don't know what other very competitive niches, it's going to be very expensive to either launch a product there in that category or improve your rank in order to be on a higher position in BFCM, right? So then what do? We go to Helium 10, so we have a list of keywords, right? We remove brand names and all that. Everybody knows that. So we got a main list of keywords. We take that list and go to Helium 10, use Magnet, get long tails for each of those keywords. For each product opportunity explorer keyword, I like to have between 5 and 10. 7 would be a very good number of long tails.
So you put it like in Magnet and then look for the Smart Complete or something like that to see what the long version
or I
of.
use filters. Yes, I just or I put, for example, the keyword in phrases must contain, and then I manually check everything, and I usually fill a filter with a minimum of 10 sales per keyword, so we don't look at crazy suggestions. And I get 7 long tails. Let's say I get 7 long tails for each keyword, for each product opportunity explorer keyword. Let's say that main keyword has 50K searches a month or 100K searches a month. That's going to be very expensive to rank. Now I'm going to have 7 keywords with search volume between, 700 to 5,000 search volumes a month. All of them contain the main keyword, the product opportunity keyword in exact form inside them, right? So it's collagen powder for women over 50. Let's say a long tail for collagen peptides powder, right? Okay, so then I do that for all my keywords that I'm focused in from product opportunity explorer, and I get a list of, let's say, 50 keywords that all of them are small to medium and are very easy to rank using PPC, Google Ads, giveaways, whatever you use or you combine in a total whole, and focus on those. Either increase your bids or put them in separate campaigns, or do ranking campaigns or whatever. But on those, I'm not doing anything for the main keyword, which is, again, hard to move. And then as a snowball effect from all those keywords, the actions combined will have effect on the main keyword, and it actually will bring it to a very high position. Sometimes we've had a lot of situations for my brands as well, for clients, when I didn't even have to do one single giveaway or PPC effort to rank the main keyword. It got to top 10 only through this.
Because you're getting the conversions on the long tail keyword.
Exactly, and the relevancy. And all the long tails must be extremely relevant and related and contain the exact form of the keyword inside them.
I would say that there's 2 things that have really changed for us this year. I would say sponsored products still really dominates a lot of things for us. We're investing more and more in product targeting within sponsored products. They've been just doing extremely well for us the last 3-4 months. But really the biggest piece that changed has kind of come from Amazon Marketing Cloud and how we're able to run DSP towards lookalike audiences and different segments because of that.
What would be your suggestion on how they can leverage AMC once it becomes available to them?
I mean, for us, the biggest thing has been really full funnel tracking. You can see how people are being introduced to your brand and then what they're ultimately converting on. So typically, like you would say, sponsored brand ads or sponsored display don't have that great of a return. We can now see that like 60% of the people who buy our brand are interacting with a sponsored display or sponsored brand first. So we know that's important, but they're ultimately converting on that sponsored product down the line. So it helps you to really gauge where you're splitting those budgets and how you're going to optimize your account a little bit differently.
So one of the things that doesn't get talked enough about is sponsored display and retargeting. If anything, it gets very brief mentions whenever people talk about advertising. But because sponsored display has gotten better and better and better over the years, one of the things we've been doing on holiday events that has been working really well is building out retargeting audiences. And the way it works is pretty simple. When you go into sponsored display, you can build an audience of people who have looked at your product and have looked at similar products to yours, but have not purchased. Those are all the people who have some amount of interest in your product, and they are ripe for being shown your thing again during the holiday event. You build out that audience and you market to exactly those people. They have high intent, they have seen your product or the thing that you sell, and they're ready to purchase. When you do that, layered on with a discount for the event, it converts really, really well.
So would you say that's the top strategy that people should look into for this coming season?
It's going to be the top strategy that you might not be doing already. If I would have to say, what do I recommend to a seller going into their first Black Friday, or what somebody who has experience is going to be doing, it's actually much more fundamental than that. It's simply watch your budgets all day. The number one thing that we see is sellers running out of budget with a lot of time left in the day. And if you're not on top of it, if you're not continually adding, you just lose out on sales opportunities. And the way we do it, there is one little tip around that. Amazon is challenging to work with on those days because the data they give us is not updated. So you can look at ACOS in the middle of the day and you see it's probably double what it looks like when you see the real updates the next day or 2 or 3 days later. So you can look at things in the middle of the day and be scared to add budget. The way we work around that is by working on TACOS, or the total ACOS. Spend is accurate to the minute. Anytime you refresh during the day, whatever you see you spent, that is exactly what you spent, even if the sales don't show yet. Sales for the account overall are also, you can refresh your app all day long, the correct number keeps being in there. So at any point of the day, if you look at your ad spend and you look at your total sales, the numbers match correctly. And as long as your TACOS is there, you know that your marketing spend is that piece of overall revenue. As long as that number is where you want it to be, feel comfortable adding budget to it. The split the next day might not be what you expect or exactly what you want, but at least you have the guidance to feed budgets in.
Yeah, but we're using a combination of promotions and discounts right now, and that is working very well. So, I've been spending a lot of time on the influencer and affiliate side of the business. So we are obviously securing that space, ensuring that traffic, keeps coming from these external sources. But what is working extremely well right now is stacking a few promos, whether it's a coupon or a Prime exclusive discount. So what we are doing that I personally realized is working much better for us right now to prepare for Black Friday is actually a strategy that is costing us a little bit of money, meaning that we're losing $1.50, but is much cheaper than recruiting a bunch of, for example, influencers that we would have to pay a lot of money for. And the way we're doing this is by, we sell a product that is about $25. So we're trying to get the product to be purchased below $10. And what we realize is that when we discount the product, let's say we have a 50% coupon plus Prime exclusive discount, as long as we can go below the $10, we're actually getting featured. And we don't know exactly where Amazon is featuring us, but most likely in products under $10. So we're getting a lot more sales. This is now obviously costing us. We're losing about $1.50 per product. But if you think about it, we're losing about $150 a day today because we're selling about 150 units. But what this is allowing us to do is to obviously gain BSR. So we noticed that from 200 in a specific subcategory, we went down to 36 in 2 days just by doing this. And so the goal right now is to gain as many badges like Amazon Choice or potentially bestseller. And this way we can obviously ride the wave just before Black Friday with a couple of good badges on the AC.
Some of the things that I do every year and it works very well for me is brand analytics is my best friend for Black Friday, because essentially what I do is I go back in time and see what happened in 2023, 2022. I specifically have a look at my search query performance report and see which were the keywords that drove the best performance for my specific ASIN during that specific period of time. And then I make sure that's where my effort goes in terms of PPC, and also in making sure that my organic ranking is very healthy on those keywords towards Black Friday. Because if last year that's essentially what drove sales to me, I want to make sure I'm actually positioned there. The data is proving the fact that that's where the money is. Now, that's where you have to also be doing this very early on, because if I start seeing that certain keywords are the one that drove most of the sales to my product, but my organic ranking is actually not stable or not where it used to be back then, that's where before Black Friday, a few weeks before, I need to start doing strategies from a PPC perspective, from external traffic perspective, to make sure that I position myself organically. So when the boom of traffic happens, I am pretty much at the same position as last year and can replicate the performance. So that's one thing. The second thing I do is also with brand analytics, you can also have a look at during that specific period of time, what was the essential distribution of market share across a specific keyword. So you can see who were the top sellers, right? Who were getting the main amount of the impression share and the conversion share. And essentially what I do is, if I see consistency of competitors at least 2 years in the past, that they were the one driving most of the market share penetration, I make sure those are heavily targeted on all my PPC, from a sponsored product, sponsored display, ASIN targeting campaigns, and making sure I retarget them. So pretty much, if those are the guys that are taking all the traffic and money historically, I make sure this year I pretty much attack them from all fronts, so I can take some of that cut, right? And the final thing I also do, which works very, very well for us, is also I try to do some kind of essentially tailor of the content, right? So for example, if we do video campaigns and banner campaigns on my PPC, I try to, especially if we're going towards Christmas or Black Friday, I try to emphasize my content more toward a giftable season, right? So especially if the typical product that maybe you buy for your mom or you buy for your friend, X, Y, and Z, you want to make sure that your products start to stand out as the product that you should be buying in Q4 and during this giftable season, compared to another product that's very generic and maybe it's another Me Too product, right?
I basically tried this as well during Prime Day on the 8th and 9th of October, where we had products that had kind of excessive inventory. And we realized that during the normal days, some of those campaigns were just at optimum spend. They weren't really spending as much. So what we did for Prime Day was kind of put them up a little bit more in terms of bids. But I would only recommend this strategy really if it's a product that is replenishable, that has repeat sales. Because what you're basically trying to do here is get a loss leader. And by getting a loss leader, you get a new to brand customer, and then that you're going to make your money based on the lifetime value. So for example, we had some stand-up pouches that weren't moving. And what we did for Prime Day is we put those bids up. So we made sure when you search up stand-up pouch, you're going to see our stand-up pouches. And then what we did was we put a discount on there for Prime Day. And obviously that discount was showing. In the industry, not many people actually utilize discounts because it's such a low price product. So we were happy to take the hit. But that's because we then calculated that, okay, if we can lose $1 or $2 on this product, even though the bids are high, we put a discount, then somebody comes back and buys more packs next month, the month after, the month after. Their lifetime value then allows us to be profitable. So most people are just trying to get profit and win out the gate, and that becomes more difficult. But because now we've brought people into our brand through that loss leader, we've just used our lifetime value to then get profitable, which we actually saw happen. We got that stand-up pouch was like a 7x10 craft pouch. It got a few sales, and now we've actually started seeing sales just trickle in without the discount, and all those people are now some of the repeat sales, and obviously it's working. So that's one strategy that I did, is just making sure if it's a replenishable product, you can really show up with a good discount to obviously persuade people to get over the line.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Which ones are you going to implement? Let us know in the comments below. Don't just be like, oh, this was a great episode, I love hearing all these cool things. No, I need you guys to take action. So hopefully you guys pick 1, 2, 3 of these strategies that you heard today, and you're going to implement it in a couple of weeks. I'll see you guys in the next episode.